Hi everyone, welcome to a special edition of Passion Story. Thank you for joining me today. Today at War Story, we have a special guest, and he is someone who has really inspired quite a lot of leaders in the industry and has followed his passion for fitness at a phenomenal level. I know him personally for almost more than a decade now, and I must say that he's one of the funniest guy that I know. And along with that, he's one of the brilliant mind that I've seen. So he is Sachin Jolly, the regional director, RS.
Thank you, Amit, for trying to cover me today for the WoW story. I was really inspired with the way these stories were published, and I've seen a couple of videos for top leaders. I had the sales for the country for Resource Solutions, and also manage client relationships. Um, but I'm glad that I made it to this finally, and you guys are covering me today.
So Sachin, I wanted to kind of ask that since you have a very long career journey right now for more than 18 years now, and you started from operations, have gone through in your career in terms of in different phases, from a middle management to a leadership right now. How it has been a career journey for you? What all learnings that you've kind of gained throughout this experience?
Yeah, no, thank you. This is quite interesting, actually. Having been in different industries over the past 19 years, and having done different jobs. I started my career way back, I think 19 years back, um, uh, in a contact center, and I didn't even have the kind of vision that I'll do extremely well in my life, because uh, those days there were barely anybody to guide you in terms of the professions that existed, and I was clueless, and literally got into the Indian Army, and then came out of that and literally wanted to do something different. And my first job happened with GE, where I was barely making my ends meet. And having come from a middle class family, you always want to do um, better than your role model, who's your father, right? And I wouldn't say that I've really done and accomplished at the moment what he's done and for us, but truly, you know, having done operations job, having done um, transitions and migrations job, having done talent acquisition job, having done now into a sales job. So I think there has been a paradigm change in terms of um, how I started my career and where I am today. So I think, um, and there has been quite a lot of self learning, and also learning from some of the top leaders in the industry who also been mentors to me in terms of how I should maneuver my career. And as we go later in the conversation, I can probably talk about who these guys are. And I may not take names, but yeah, definitely these guys have really inspired me where I am today, and I'm thankful. And obviously, this can't happen without the support of your family, which is an integral part of what you do in your career in life. Right?
True. So, Sachin, since you said that you have been into a lot of industries, domains, and you have been into various functions as well, as you said that you started from Indian Army and then you moved into operations started from again basically a contact center executive, and then right now that you have heading the entire sales for India for Resource Solutions. So in journey, I am sure that you would have faced a lot of challenges. So we wanted to really understand that what are the kind of challenges that you faced and how exactly that you managed to kind of overcome all your fears during this journey.
Yeah, so I think um, it's an individual's aura that matters, and three things that I've always believed in: a principle that, one, when you get up in the morning and you look at yourself into the mirror, then couple of things that you need to keep in mind: that h- how do you how do you get more business and money to your organization that you work for. Second important thing is that can you simplify jobs and make sure that your people really value you for not complicating anything that you do in your day-to-day regime as far as your professional life is concerned. And third important thing is that, which I'm a firm believer of, is passion and energy. And if you don't have that, I tell people go buy it, but there is no substitute for passion, right? And for me, passion is completely driven out of my fitness and my health, because I firmly believe that if you are fit, you are fit to deliver to everything and anything that you come across as a challenge in your life. And that's been constantly that's a no-brainer. And I've actually been very passionate about fitness in my life.
So as you just mentioned that you very much so fitness is one of your passions and you very much into it right now. So one important question which I really wanted to kind of ask you here, and I'm sure that people wanted to very working in a corporate wanted to kind of ask, is like how do you manage to kind of go ahead and keep a balance between engaging yourself in your passion along with the kind of work that you have, because you've been at a very responsible position, your job is very demanding, and people miss out some time kind of take care of their passion. So how do you manage it?
Yeah, so there is there is no right and wrong answer for that. But I keep hearing everybody around me saying, we don't manage time, we don't get time. There can be numerous excuses for not doing something, but there has to be one reason, which is your own life, to dedicate some time in your life to fitness. And if you can't do that, then what are you living for, right? Um, and I, my friends, family who know me are absolutely, my advocates, and they can vouch for me for being absolutely a fitness freak, irrespective of what time of the day it is. Uh, I don't care whether I've been for a holiday, or if it's in between work, or if it's urgent meetings. I'll somehow squeeze time to make sure that I dedicate some time to fitness. Could be anything. I could go run. I could carry my stretch bands and do some workout and some functional inside the room if I know that the hotel doesn't have a gym. Or it could just mean wear my joggers and my sneakers and get out and run on the road, whichever city and country it is. I have never shied away from fitness, and I think it's now in my DNA in the past 20 plus years that I've literally been doing this now.
Okay, so as you said, so fitness is your passion and you have been into it since quite long now. Another question that I have for you that I wanted to check, that do you think that it gives you an edge in the competitive environment right now?
I don't know about the edge, because it is your personality plays a very vital role in your overall as an individual. And I think um, what comes as the foremost thing in your personality is your fitness, right? How you come across an individual is absolutely your personality. And your personality gets you can really enhance your personality by fitness. And if you're conscious, there's some level of self confidence that you get. And I don't know if everybody who's listening to me believes in the concept of that level of confidence that you get with fitness. There is no substitute to fitness. And I'm not saying that you go out in the gyms and lift weights, but fitness of any nature. Some people play squash, badminton, tennis, soccer. You run, you jog, but fitness, I believe, gives you a different kick and a different high when you're done with it. And I think investing about 20 minutes of the day, bare minimum, in fitness in a day can really take you a long way in your life.
Great. Another question that I have for you, and as you mentioned earlier, that you have few mentors throughout your career, your professional journey that you had. So, would you like to kind of tell us a little bit more about them? That how exactly that they have made an impact in your life in terms of professionally, how they've guided you. What are the kind of keynotes that they've kind of shared with you, which helped you to become a leader what you are?
Hmm. So as you grow old in your career and in your life, the risk-taking ability gradually diminishes, right? Because you want to make sure that you are secure and safe in your career. And I think the leader that I am going to talk about is one of the is the CEOs of one of the big fours in India, and he really inspired and pushed me to take this risk of moving and changing my career and absolutely a different job that I was doing earlier. And this individual uh, not only gave me that confidence and trusted in me to do this job, but also told me that if you don't do it, then your career is absolutely in shambles, right? And that gave me that high, saying, it can't be worse than where I am today. And if I don't take risk, uh, then what next for me? Another thing is that I and after that, I've never looked back. I've done different jobs, and if somebody throws something at me today, I am absolutely up for challenges. Um, my fitness mentor is my uncle, who's an Asian bronze medalist, and he inspires me a lot in terms of how he maintains himself even at the age of 60, and very passionate about fitness. And uh, I owe my fitness passion to him, and my professional passion to one of this individual that who's the CEO of one of the organizations. Had they not pushed me and had they not inspired me, I wouldn't have been here. So I think, um, and I was very raw when I started my career. I was very very rigid, and I did my schooling from a very small town. I mean, not a small town, but a tier two city, and there were less avenues and less opportunities in those days in small cities. And our parents knew as much, so they could guide as much and as little. But um, having tried my hands and wanted to do different ventures and different careers that I wanted to pursue, somehow, there were showstoppers. But then I decided and I made my mind very very firm in terms of when I enter the corporate world, I want to make it very big, and that really keeps me going and keeps me very passionate about what I do.
So when we actually talk about the mantra, right? So when you actually wanted to kind of achieve a goal, you have some mantras that you actually follow, or you can call it a principle. So do you have some aligned principles or mantra which you think that you follow as a leader, and you actually recommend that to the people who really looking forward to be the upcoming leaders, or probably who following you at this point of time?
Um, 4 5 things that I follow as mantra, and not one mantra, but more of values in terms of how you can do good in your life and career. I think one is be very strong on integrity. Okay, there is no better thing than honesty in what you do. Second is hard work, and I think there is hard work pays off definitely, and I've seen this over a period of 19 years that if you are hard worker, you're respected all throughout, right? Whatever comes and goes, irrespective, agnostic, you are valued all the time. You may not have an answer to everything, okay, and you need not have an answer to everything in life, but you can definitely learn it on the job. Think on your feet, and literally, um, do good. Third important thing is obviously, health is wealth, right? So you can't ignore your health, which is very very important, right? Fourth important thing that I think is very, very important in your career and life is that constantly keep upgrading yourself. Now, upgrading could be um, some small certifications or maybe reading more books. Constantly learn, constantly try and evolve, because those things really make a difference. So I think these are four mantras that I follow in terms of my life. And last but not the least, definitely devote time to your family, which is very, very important. I had not spoken about this, but Um, at the hems of everything is the family and your kids. As much time you can spend with them, do that, and quality time. Not by just sitting with them and watching TV. Encourage them to play outdoor sports and remain fit at all times. So I think these five things are my mantras, and yeah, they keep me going.
So, looking at your dynamic personality, one phrase which we actually always read, life begins at 40. How strongly did you believe in that?
No, I absolutely believe in that. 40s is the new 20s, actually,
Yeah.
right? And age is just a number. It's in your head here, and I think your mind governs everything that you want to do, right? Your mind tells you, if you're strong in head, your mind will tell you that there is no substitute to fitness. Your mind governs the entire body, right? So be strong in head in what you want to do, right? Pursue your passion along with your job. Profession and passion both have to go hand in hand. Nothing can take precedence over the other. But I believe that your passion is extremely important if you got to keep yourself alive and kicking, irrespective of the age, right? And yeah.
Great. So, as a leader, what are your suggestions to the upcoming leaders who really want to kind of want to reach to the level that you've reached and the kind of domains that you've kind of moved from in the industry and the functions that you've really worked on? So, what is your final words to them? In terms of what advice would you like to give it to them?
Um, be a risk taker. Don't you can't shy away from taking tough tasks at hand. Um, Pursue your passion. Don't give up. Okay. Third important thing is inspire people. Whatever it takes, do something different as a manager to become a good leader. And if you don't inspire your people, because your people look up to you, right? And if you don't do something different, then obviously there is that level of uh, you know confidence that dips in your people as well. Because when you work in larger roles, then everybody's looking at you, and you can't um, and the other thing that I recently attended a training, and you have to be an authentic leader. Okay, be genuine as much as you can, and I mean, be genuine. I mean, not as much as you can, but be genuine at all times. Your people will love you or hate you for what you do. And the other thing is that have the courage to also call out your weaknesses to uh, your people, and not necessarily be um, something about it could be anything, right? That's a weakness. And how did you overcome that weakness is what your people would want to know. And that becomes like um, they look up to you for that. So, yeah.
So, thank you very much, Sachin, for being here at VAR Studio with us. I think that we have been able to kind of get a lot of insight from Sachin in terms of how do you manage to be a successful leader. And plus, in addition to that, as we said, that this is a special edition about passion stories. We know that how exactly that he managed to drive his passion along with his such a tight schedule, right? Thank you very much, Sachin. And I think that looking at your personality, and we all believe in that, life begins at 40, and he's a right example for that. Thank you very much, Sachin.
No, thank you for covering me as a part of the story. And if I'm able to make some impact to the generation and upcoming leaders and people who are inspiring to be good managers, good organization employee, and at the same time pursue their passions, then I think they should really look at what I said. And thank you. Thank you for everybody for here, whoever is covering my story today. And you took out time from your hectic schedules, and you all came all the way here to cover me, and appreciate the hard work that you all do. And I'm sure this is a great success. Thanks.